Hello everyone and welcome to the March Virtual Club. I want to share with you a beautiful card today that's perfect for birthdays or anniversaries or perhaps even moving in when you have a house number or something like that. The stamp set we're using is this one called Number of Years, and it's almost like two stamp sets in one because you get a full set of numbers and then you also have these floral images and then of course some words to go with it. So let me show you the project. So you're covered with the beautiful designer paper on the outside, and then on the inside you have the other side of the designer series paper. So it's a beautiful card inside and out. All right, let me show you how to make that card base first of all. I started out with a sheet of A5 of our thick Whisper White cardstock. You could also use just our standard Whisper White cardstock. It may be easier to fold in the end. Excuse me. So what I did was I used the new birthday bouquet papers. I'm going to show you those real quick because they are quite beautiful. If I can get them all picked up at the same time. So you've got stripes and flowers and dots and more flowers, birthday balloons, but I personally really like those because they're quite subtle colors. They're not too bright. And you've got confetti and streamers and ice cream cones and dots and more stripes. So it's a very beautiful pack of paper. So that one's called Birthday Bouquet and it's in the Occasions catalog. Whoops, took some stamps with me. So what I've done is I've taken the A5 sheet and covered it both sides with a strip of 12 by 12. You could cut it down to size exactly, but I chose to just leave them long for the time being. So I've got one on each side and you'll see that they're a bit long. So then what I will do is from here, fold the card in half so I can see where the pieces of the cardstock start and stop. And it's very thick. It's a nice sturdy card. And then from there I will take my trimmer and trim it off. And you'll see that, I don't know if you can tell in the camera, when you fold it, the outside paper has a longer distance to go than the inside paper. So there's a little bit of shifting. So you can go ahead and take your trimmer and just trim all the ends up neatly, which is why I folded it before I've trimmed it. So I have one here already done, and this one I've chosen to use ice cream cones inside because I have a birthday coming up that I thought would be nice to send this card for. All right, so that's how you do the card base. Then I'm going to show you how to do the stamping on the front. So you've got another sheet of Whisper White, and this can just be the standard weight of Whisper White. And now we'll just do some stamping. The colors I have, I'll just set this aside. I've got Pool Party, Blushing Bride, Mossy Meadow, Watermelon Wonder, and Basic Gray. And these are the colors that are found in the papers as well. So I'll take the flower leaves and stems, and I'm just going to stamp those one side and then the other side, and you can just sort of rotate the stamp so one stem is going one way and one is going the other way. Okay, then I'll take the Watermelon Wonder, and this stamp set has 3 little flower images that you can then work into the leaves, and you do not have to do it the way I've done it. You can mix and match and of course change the colors, but you can also rearrange the flowers any way that you want them to be. So I'm going to do the rose images right in here in the Watermelon Wonder, and then I always get a little confused when I've got it going the other way, and I don't know why. So it would be here, I think. Okay, well, like I said, you can just do it the way you want, so I'm not going to worry too much about it being right or wrong. Okay, then I'll take the Pool Party And this one I'll put kind of more at the ends. Okay, and then Blushing Bride. And then this one's just a little daisy. This would look cute done in the yellow, as well, but this is what matches the papers. Right in there, and then I'm going to put another one up top here. So you've got room for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 flowers on there. Okay, then this stamp set also comes with what I like to call just a swoosh stamp, which is very usable for backgrounds and things. And it would be nice to just sort of ground these. And I think I'll do that in the Blushing Bride, just a light color. And just put that about there. Okay. Now, on to the fun part. Not that it's not all fun, but doing the numbers. I'm going to do this for an 18th birthday. I can't believe my older daughter will be 18 shortly, but she will. So I'm going to show you a fun little way to do the numbers to get that ombre look. Let's see, let's find my scrap papers. Okay, I'm going to show you a neat way to do the numbers. And now I've put the numbers onto one block, but you can do them separately, and it doesn't matter if they're the wrong way around or upside down, because you can just, you're going to die cut them out anyway, so it doesn't really matter how they're stamped out. So I'm going to use Blushing Bride and Watermelon Wonder on sponge daubers. So use the Blushing Bride on the top of the numbers, and because it's a fairly light color in and of itself, you can be fairly heavy-handed with it. And then the Watermelon Wonder is quite a dark color. So I would start at the bottom of the numbers where you can get the most ink, or the darkest, and then just tap it up the number and go a little bit with a lighter hand and just sort of blend the two colors. So you've got the Blushing Bride at the top and the Watermelon Wonder at the bottom, and then a blending in between. Now you can just stamp it like that, but I'm going to get it just a little bit wet. There's just water in this spritzer. I'll do this off camera so I don't spray all the papers on the table. You don't want to go too much. Just a couple of spritzes is good. And then just stamp that down. What the water does is just blend the colors even further, so you're going to get more of a watercolored look. Hopefully you can see that there's quite a bit of interest. You can even see sort of the water droplets on that. Of course, the more water you put on it, the more they'll blend and the more watercolor-like they will get. And if you don't put water on it, the more you'll be able to see the change between the ink colors. So what I did, or what I would suggest you do, is do it like 3 or 4 times and then pick which ones you like the best. Okay, so from there, we'll use the dies. And this is such a cool die set. You've got numbers, and then you have this banner die, and then another little banner die, a different sort of banner die. You'll see this banner die quite a lot in various projects. So we'll use the 1 and the 8. And then those, of course, just fit over the stamped images, and using the magnetic platform so they don't move, you'll just go and die cut those out. I've already die cut a couple out, which I see I've just stuck together. Thankfully, they're all right. Okay, so I've got those ready to go. I've got the adhesive on them, so we won't turn them up. So one thing I'm going to do before I put the numbers on is, if you see on the card, I've got the TH for 45th, but in this case we'll do 18th, and then the banner anniversary. And I also need to stamp that happy in the basic way. So stamp the happy quickly. Whoops. Didn't actually have that mounted onto the block. Okay. Okay, now then the anniversary gets stamped. You've got a banner stamp included in this set, and then you have grade, anniversary, birthday. So you have quite a lot of different words you can put in that banner, and of course any other stamp set that you have that will fit in there, of course, you could use as well. And then we'll stamp the birthday in the pool party, and then that will go and be cut out, which I've got ready for you. Now the little banner, if you'll notice, this one is not clear, or it's not a cutout. So if you stamped the, let me grab the sample. If you stamp the outline and the words, you wouldn't really know where to lay it because it's not clear. So in this case, you'll need to die cut out the paper and then do the stamping afterwards. And I do have one die cut out, which I don't see at the minute. I'll just use the back of this one. So you just die cut something like that out. And because these stamps are perfectly clear, it's not terribly tricky to get them lined up like so. So that will go on the back of, say, the 18th. And I will use a glue dot for that. Okay. Oh, there's my blank one that I couldn't find. All right, then I'm going to go ahead and put these on. I'm just going to eyeball kind of where I think the middle will be between the two of them. Eyeballing is okay. I figure if it looks okay to my eyeballs, then it's straight enough. And then we'll put the birthday on. I need dimensionals for that. And these full dimensionals just fit. I didn't say, but you may have noticed on the back of the 1 and the 8, I cut the dimensionals into half or even thirds so that they would fit on the skinny bits. And we'll cover up a bit of that little swoosh, but that's okay. All right, so I think our card front is all stamped. So we need to now just put our ribbon on. Might just close these before I put something in them. It's a good habit. Okay, now I'm using the Watermelon Wonder ribbon again, which we used last month. I really love this color and I love this ribbon. So I'm going to show you a little technique on how to do this sort of a thing without using, with using as little ribbon as possible. You'll see here that we have a knot instead of a bow. I actually did want a bow because it's quite a feminine card. But this ribbon is so wide that the bow was just a bit too big. So we're just doing a nice big knot. So what you'll do is you'll cut your length, and I just make it, it's about double the width of the card. And you'll take the two ends and you'll tie them into a reef knot. So that's right over left and around, and then pull it long, and then it's left over right. And then this back one comes around through the hole. You can watch that again and again. Then from here, the trick is to keep hold of the two tails and to pull it tight from the bottom rather than pulling the tails until you get to about the end of it when it's, okay, then to pull it nice and tight. Then I'm going to use our ribbon cutting scissors because you need nice, beautiful, sharp scissors for a big, wide ribbon like this. Okay, then I'm going to cut it at about 1:30 or 2 o'clock like this. Then this will get adhered. Oh, darn it. I didn't cut it quite long enough, or I cut the, I should have cut it maybe a little bit more at 1 o'clock. But that is okay. I can just do it again really quickly. So you get another little demo. Might just cut it a little bit longer just to make sure I've got enough. Okay, so I'll just do this again quickly. Now, the wider the ribbon, the more ribbon it takes to create a knot or a bow. So you just need, if you've got a really skinny piece of twine or something, you can get away with not using much, but if you've got a wide ribbon, it takes more. Okay, just cut those neatly. I'm going to cut that a little bit closer. All right, that's plenty long. I've gone from not enough to being excessive. Now this knot needs to go right at the edge. Okay, so use a bit of our tear and tape adhesive. Put that about in the middle. I'm just adhering that down. Oh look, I didn't really conserve any ribbon, because ideally your ribbon would go to about there. But in any case, this technique of having this slit in the middle allows you to adjust the tension so it's just right, rather than trying to tie it around the card and trying to get the tension just correct. All right, sorry, just adjust that a little bit more. Okay, so it looks something like that. It doesn't matter if it looks ugly underneath. Okay, then we'll put dimensionals on our stamped piece. And I would rather have a few extra dimensionals than not enough, because you don't want your card to, you know, you want to have, if you want to do a nice project, do it nice all the way through. Okay, so then we're going to slide that on. Goodness me. Oops. I'm just going to adjust the knot over a little bit further. Okay, that's better. Okay. There, and then you can adjust that bow, and you can cut it shorter if you want, but I quite like that length. Now then, I've also added on the front just a few rhinestones to finish it off. So I've used some of the tiny ones inside these little blushing bride flowers. Just put one there, tuck it in. And then it's nice to just add a few more little sparkly bits. So there's like 3 or 4 on each side, something like that. Okay, so you've got a little bit of sparkle going on there. And that's nice. Then inside your card, don't forget we've got these cute little cupcakes, and I mean not cupcakes, ice cream cones inside. We'll just add a little white piece so that you've got something to write on. We've got the ribbon running through inside as well, so that adds a little bit of interest. Okay, and I have stamped the flower on that just to bring the theme through. And then I have stamped also the envelope. I see I missed a flower, but I'll fix that. Here, I'll grab you the one that's better. There you go. So you can see that you could use all the papers in the pack and get some quite different looking cards depending on what the occasion is. And I hope you enjoy and try out the little sponge daubing and watercoloring technique.